Okay, I'm going to be real with you right now. What if I told you that the moment you die, and I know that's a heavy way to start, but stay with me, your bank has absolutely zero legal obligation to hand your money over to your spouse, your kids, or anyone you actually care about. Not a single penny, not without a court order, a lawyer, months of waiting, and a whole lot of heartache. And the scary part, most Americans have no idea this is even a thing. But here's what's even wilder: there is one single form, one piece of paper that changes everything. And it takes less than 10 minutes to fill out. I'm Marcus, and today on Marcus USA, we're going to figure out exactly what that form is, why your bank hasn't told you about it, and what happens to your family's financial future if you never fill it out. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Before we get into it, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button right now, because every single week on this channel we break down real financial topics that actually matter to your life, your family, and your future. No fluff, no jargon, just straight talk. All right, let's get into it. So here's the situation most people are in without even knowing it. You've worked hard your entire life. You've got a savings account, maybe a checking account, maybe a money market account sitting at your local bank or credit union. You've got thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars parked in there. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you've probably assumed that if something happened to you, your family would just get it, right? Your wife walks into the bank, shows her ID, explains what happened, and walks out with the money. Simple. Done. That is not how it works. And I mean that in the most serious way possible. When you pass away, your bank accounts don't automatically transfer to anyone. Not your spouse, not your children. Not even if your kids are grown adults with their own careers and families. The moment the bank is notified of your death, those accounts are essentially frozen. The money doesn't go anywhere, it just sits there, locked, while your loved ones are left scrambling during one of the hardest times of their lives. What happens next is where it gets really painful. Your family has to go through something called probate. Now, probate is the legal process through which a court validates your will, if you even have one, and oversees the distribution of your estate. And I want you to understand what that actually means in practical terms. Probate can take anywhere from several months to multiple years, depending on your state, the size of your estate, and whether anyone contests anything. During that entire time, the money in your accounts is untouchable. Your family can't access it to pay the mortgage. They can't use it to cover funeral expenses. They can't use it for groceries, utilities, or anything else. It's just gone not permanently, but effectively, for a very long time. And it's not just slow, it's expensive. Attorney fees, court costs, executor fees, these can eat up anywhere from 3% to 8% or more of the total value of your estate. So if you had $100,000 sitting in the bank, your family might walk away with $85,000 or $90,000 after all is said and done. And that's if everything goes smoothly with no legal disputes. If there's any kind of family conflict, a sibling who thinks they deserve more, an estranged relative making claims, that number drops even further, and the timeline stretches even longer. I've seen stories about families who couldn't even pay for a funeral because the bank accounts were frozen and probate hadn't been resolved yet. Think about that for a second. The people who loved you most, who are grieving you, are now also fighting a bureaucratic and legal battle just to get access to money that was always meant for them. That's not the legacy any of us want to leave. And here's the part that frustrates me the most. This entire nightmare is completely avoidable. Not with a trust, not with an expensive attorney, not with a complicated financial product. With one form, one simple, free, absolutely game-changing form that your bank already has sitting right there at the branch or on their website. You just have to know to ask for it. So let's talk about what it is. The form is called a Payable on Death Designation, or POD for short. If you're dealing with a brokerage account or certain investment accounts, you might see it called a Transfer on Death Designation, or TOD. Different name, same concept, same power. And understanding this is going to change how you think about your finances forever. Here's how it works. When you add a POD designation to your bank account, you're telling your bank, in writing, exactly who should receive the money in that account when you die. That person is called your beneficiary. And the magic of this designation is that it completely bypasses probate. I'll say that again because it's that important. It completely bypasses probate. The moment your bank is notified of your death and your beneficiary presents a copy of your death certificate, and their ID, they can access those funds. Not in months, not after a court battle, often within days. This isn't some loophole or legal trick. It's a recognised and fully legal mechanism that exists in every single state across the country. Banks are set up to honour these designations. The law is explicitly designed to make this work quickly and cleanly. And yet, according to data from financial planning surveys over the years, a significant portion of Americans, many experts estimate it could be nearly half, have never added a beneficiary designation to their bank accounts. Not because they don't care, but because nobody told them they needed to. Now let's make sure we're crystal clear on what POD and TOD actually cover and don't cover, because I don't want anyone walking away with the wrong idea. A POD designation covers checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, and certificates of deposit. A TOD designation covers brokerage accounts and investment accounts. What these designations do not cover are accounts held jointly with right of survivorship. Those transfer automatically by the nature of how they're titled. They also don't override your will for assets like real estate or personal property. Think of POD and TOD as a tool specifically designed for financial accounts. And it's the single best tool available for that job. You can also name multiple beneficiaries on the same account. So if you want to split an account equally between your 3 children, you can do that. You designate each one and specify the percentage split. And if one of your beneficiaries passes away before you do, most banks will allow you to update the form at any time during your lifetime. You're never locked in. Life changes, and your designations can change with it. Got married. Update the form. Had a baby. Add them. Going through a divorce. Absolutely change it. This is something people often forget to do after a divorce, and it can lead to serious complications. One more thing I want you to understand about POD and TOD designations: they are completely revocable while you're alive. You remain the sole owner of the account. You can spend the money, move it, close the account. The beneficiary has 0 rights to the account while you're living. This is not a gift, it's not a co-ownership. It's simply an instruction that activates only upon your death. You lose nothing by having it. You gain everything by putting it in place. Let me walk you through exactly how to set this up, because I want you to be able to do this as soon as this video is over. First, contact your bank. You can call them, go to a branch in person, or in many cases log into your online banking portal and look for an option related to beneficiaries or account beneficiaries. Some banks make this extremely easy and let you add or update designations entirely online in just a few clicks. Others still require you to fill out a paper form in person. Either way, it's free. There is no fee to add a POD or TOD designation to your account. When you're filling out the form, you'll need the following information for each beneficiary: their full legal name, their date of birth, their social security number, and their relationship to you. That last part, the social security number, is the piece that trips people up most often, because not everyone has their loved one's SSNs memorized. But it's worth tracking down before you go, because it's required, and it's what allows the bank to properly verify the identity of your beneficiary when the time comes. Once you've submitted the form, the bank will attach the designation to your account on their end. Get a copy of the confirmation for your records. Then, and this is something I really want to emphasize, tell your beneficiaries. This is the step people skip, and it creates a whole new problem. If your beneficiary doesn't know they're listed on your account, they may never even think to contact the bank after you're gone. In some states, unclaimed bank accounts eventually get turned over to the state government through a process called escapement, and your loved ones would have to go through a whole separate process to reclaim what was always meant to be theirs. So tell your people, put it in a letter, include it in your estate documents. Make sure the right people know. Now I want to take a moment and talk about something a little broader, because POD and TOD designations are an incredible tool, but they're one piece of a larger puzzle. If you have a home, a vehicle, life insurance, a retirement account like a 401k or IRA, or any significant assets beyond just your bank accounts, there are additional steps you'll want to take. Retirement accounts and life insurance already have their own beneficiary designation systems that work similarly to POD. Make sure those are filled out and up to date as well. For real estate and other property, you may need a will or a trust, And that's where consulting with an estate planning attorney can really pay off. But here's the thing, most people never even get to that conversation because they're overwhelmed thinking about all of it. And I get that. Estate planning can feel heavy and complicated and like something you can deal with later. But what I'm telling you today is that you can do one thing right now that will have a massive, immediate, real-world impact on your family's financial security. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need to spend any money. You just need to walk into your bank or pull up your banking app and ask about adding a beneficiary to your accounts. I want to share something with you to put this into perspective. Imagine two families, same city, same type of bank, similar account balances. Family A, the husband passes away unexpectedly. His wife calls the bank, devastated. The bank tells her the account is frozen pending probate. She has to hire an attorney. 8 months later, after court fees and legal bills, she finally gets access to the money, minus thousands of dollars in costs. During those 8 months, she's borrowing from family just to make ends meet. Family B, same situation. Husband passes away. But 5 years ago, he sat down, filled out a one-page form at the bank, and named his wife as the POD beneficiary on all their accounts. His wife calls the bank, brings in the death certificate and her ID. Within a week, those funds are transferred into her name. She can pay the mortgage, she can take care of the funeral, she can breathe, she can grieve without also fighting a legal battle. Same tragedy, completely different outcome. And the only difference was that one form. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for your family. Not just because it's smart financial planning, but because the people you love deserve to be taken care of, especially in the moments when you can no longer be there to do it yourself. Filling out that form is an act of love. It's one of the most practical and powerful ways you can say to your family, I thought about you. I planned for you. I took care of it. So here's what I want you to do right now, before you close this video, before you move on to the next thing in your day. Pull out your phone or open a new tab and log into your bank's website. Search for Beneficiary Designation or POD form. If you can't find it online, make a note to either call your bank this week or stop by a branch. Write down the information you'll need for your beneficiaries. And if you have multiple accounts at multiple banks checking, savings, CDs, make sure you're doing this for every single one. And one more thing, if you have an IRA, a 401k, or a life insurance policy, check those beneficiary designations too while you're at it. People get divorced, have kids, lose parents, and forget to update these things. A beneficiary designation on a life insurance policy supersedes your will. If your ex-spouse is still listed, they could legally receive that payout. Don't let that be a surprise. This stuff matters. You matter. Your family's future matters. And the fact that you watched this far tells me that you're someone who actually cares about getting this right. And I respect that. All right, let's land this plane. Here's what we covered today. Your bank accounts do not automatically transfer to your loved ones when you die. Without the right documentation, they get frozen, tied up in probate, and your family faces delays, legal costs, and enormous stress. The solution is a payable on death or POD designation, or a transfer on death TOD designation for investment accounts. These forms are free, revocable during your lifetime, legally binding, and they allow your beneficiaries to access your account funds quickly and without going through probate at all. You can set them up at your bank's branch or often right online in less than 10 minutes. And once you've done it, make sure your beneficiaries know about it. That's it. That's the form. And now you know about it, so go use it. If this video helped you, I want to know. Drop a comment below and tell me whether you already had a POD designation set up. Or, if this is news to you, I read every comment on this channel, and I genuinely love hearing from you. And if you've got a parent, a sibling, a friend who has money sitting in a bank account and probably has no idea about this, share this video with them right now. Send it in a text, post it to your story, tag them in the comments. You could literally be helping them protect their family's financial future today with one share. That's a pretty powerful thing to do. If you want more content like this, real talk about financial planning, estate basics, protecting your family's money, and making smart decisions with what you've worked hard to earn, subscribe to Marcus USA and hit the bell so you never miss a video. New content every week, made for regular Americans who want to get ahead and stay ahead. I'll see you in the next one.